A purchaser signed a sales contract form and immediately made a minor change in the terms and conditions. This offer, A, is unacceptable. B, remains in effect. C, is void and ineffective. D, has become a counteroffer.
The correct answer is B, remains in effect. The purchaser made the change immediately after signing the form. Therefore, the offer had not yet been presented to the seller. A counteroffer would be created if the seller made a change in the purchaser's offer.
A broker has an exclusive listing on a parcel of land. If the owner sells the property without the assistance of the broker, A, is not entitled to a commission. B, is entitled to the commission agreed to in the listing. C, must wait until the transaction closes before receiving the commission. D, is only entitled to a partial commission.
The correct answer is A, is not entitled to a commission. In an exclusive listing, the owner agrees to list the property with one broker only. However, the owner reserves the right to sell the property without being obligated to pay a commission.
The buyer's rights under a contract for deed that has been executed by the seller are best described as A, legal title, B, ostensible title, C, equitable title, D, partial title.
The correct answer is C, equitable title. The buyer has equitable title, while the seller retains the legal title until some or all of the contract terms have been met. Equitable title gives the buyer the right to acquire the legal title.
A breach of contract cannot be remedied by A, a suit for specific performance, B, a suit for damages, C, an assignment of the contract, D, foreclosure.
The correct answer is C, an assignment of the contract. An assignment transfers all rights in the contract from the assignor to the assignee.
Broker John obtained an exclusive right of sale listing on Jane's home. Which of the following choices is incorrect? A, the owner must receive a signed copy of the listing within 24 hours. B, a protection period is generally included to protect the broker's rights to a commission for a specified time following expiration. C, the owner reserves the right to sell the property without becoming obligated for a commission. D, the agreement must be in writing and is a bilateral contract.
The incorrect answer is C. The owner reserves the right to sell the property without becoming obligated for a commission. In an exclusive right to sell listing, the owner agrees to pay the broker regardless of who sells the property.
Which of the following choices may a landlord accept as payment for rent? A, currency, B, labor, C, provisions, D, any of the above.
The correct answer is D, any of the above.
A seller gave broker A an exclusive right of sale listing, and at the same time gave broker B an open listing on the same property. If broker B sold the property, the seller would owe a commission to A, both broker A and broker B, B, broker A only, C, broker B only, D, neither broker A nor broker B.
The correct answer is A, both broker A and broker B. Broker A would be owed a commission since the owner agreed to pay the broker a commission regardless of who sold the property under the exclusive right of sale listing. Broker B would be owed a commission since the owner agreed to pay a commission if broker B produced a buyer under the open listing.
Which of the following best describes a parallel contract? A, acknowledged, B, written, C, formal, D, oral.
The correct answer is D, oral.
If an owner lists a property with a broker, but reserves the right to list with as many other brokers as he wishes, what type of listing has the owner given? A. Open. B. Exclusive. C. Special. D. Multiple.
The correct answer is A. Open. In an open listing, an owner may list with as many brokers as he wishes, but reserves the right to sell it without becoming obligated to the payment of a commission.
If some of the terms and/or conditions of a contract are not expressly stated, but must be inferred from the acts or conducts of the parties, the agreement is A. Unilateral, B. Implied, C. Express, D. Bilateral.
The correct answer is B. Implied.
When all of the requirements of a contract are fully performed by both parties, it is termed A. Executory, B. Inferred, C. Executed, D. Terminated.
The correct answer is C. Executed. An executed contract is one in which all parties have fully performed as agreed.
Susan and Alice entered into an oral lease for 2 years on an apartment owned by Susan. The rent was to be $675 per month and was due on the first of each month. This agreement can best be described as A. Void, B. Enforceable, C. Unenforceable, D. A violation of Florida law.
The correct answer is C. Unenforceable. The statute of frauds requires all contracts conveying a right or interest in land to be in writing and signed to be enforceable in a court of law. An oral agreement to rent is a tenancy at will, which is legal but unenforceable when the agreement is for more than a year.
Which of the following is a unilateral contract? A. An open listing agreement. B. An exclusive listing. C. An option contract. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
A written no brokerage relationship disclosure must be given A. Before showing listed property, B. To anyone that attends a bona fide open house, C. When responding to general factual questions from a prospective buyer or seller concerning properties that have been advertised for sale, D. All of the above.
The correct answer is A. Before showing listed property. Disclosure to those attending an open house or responding to general factual questions from prospective buyers or sellers is not required. If a licensee, however, elicits or receives confidential information, the written no brokerage relationship disclosure must be provided.
For a valid real estate sales contract to be created, A. The signatures of the contracting parties must be witnessed. B. Both the offer and acceptance of the offer must be communicated by each party to the other. C. The document must be acknowledged. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is B. Both the offer and acceptance of the offer must be communicated by each party to the other. Communication is required to create a valid contract. However, sales contracts are not required to be either witnessed or acknowledged.
When may a broker obligate his or her principal to a contract? A. When the broker is a special agent. B. Only when the broker is an attorney at law. C. Anytime the broker is acting as the principal's attorney in fact. D. When the broker is a fiduciary.
The correct answer is C. Anytime the broker is acting as the principal's attorney in fact. An attorney in fact has the authority to legally act for another.
An executory contract has A. Not yet been fully performed. B. Not yet been signed. C. Been acknowledged but not recorded. D. Been fully performed by all parties.
The correct answer is A. Not yet been fully performed. An executory contract is one in which something remains to be done by one or more parties.
For a contract to be formal, it must be A. Oral. B. In writing and under seal. C. Witnessed and recorded. D. Under subrogation.
The correct answer is B. In writing and under seal. A contract becomes formal when it is both in writing and signed.
When a court is called on to interpret the meaning of a contract, the process is called A. Declaration, B. Correlation, C. Designation, D. Construction.
The correct answer is D. Construction.
A lease for less than 1 year should always be in writing to A. Comply with the statute of frauds. B. Comply with the statute of limitations. C. Avoid misunderstanding. D. Create a valid agreement.
The correct answer is C. Avoid misunderstanding. Oral leases for less than a year are enforceable since they are not covered by the statute of frauds. Leases for more than a year are covered by the statute of frauds, must be in writing to be enforceable.
What type of tenancy is created if a written lease does not specify an ending date? A. At sufferance. B. At will. C. For years. D. In common.
The correct answer is B. At will. A lease or rental agreement with no ending date is a tenancy at will. These agreements run from period to period, such as week to week or month to month, may be terminated by either party by proper legal notice.
The amount of commission stated in a listing contract is determined by A. Agreement, B. The multiple listing service, C. The broker, D. The seller.
The correct answer is A. Agreement. Commission amounts are negotiable between principal and broker.
Possession and use of property by a tenant without acquiring title may be obtained by which of the following? A. Tenancy for years. B. Tenancy at will. C. Agreement for deed. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. A lease, a rental agreement, or an agreement for deed transfers the right of possession and use, but does not convey legal title.
How many days are required to terminate a month-to-month tenancy at will? A. 7. B. 15. C. 30. D. 60.
The correct answer is B. 15.
Which of the following will terminate a tenancy for years? A. Death of either party. B. Expiration of the agreement. C. Legal notice from one party to the other. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is B. Expiration of the agreement. A tenancy for years cannot be terminated by notice, remains in effect after the death of a party.
If a tenant is in arrears on his or her rent payments, the landlord's initial action would be to A. Change the locks and keys. B. Take the tenant to court. C. Give the tenant proper notice that the rental agreement is subject to termination. D. Have the water and power turned off.
The correct answer is C. Give the tenant proper notice that the rental agreement is subject to termination.
Which of the following is recorded and removes the lien on the property from the public records when a mortgage loan has been paid in full? A. Lis pendens. B. Estoppel certificate. C. Letter of satisfaction. D. Release agreement.
The correct answer is C, of letter of satisfaction, also called a satisfaction of mortgage.
Sam's home sold to George subject to an existing mortgage. If George is unable to make the mortgage payments after losing his job, which of the following statements would be correct? A. Sam has primary liability on the mortgage. B. George has primary liability on the note. C. Sam is liable on the note and for any deficiency that may exist after foreclosure by the lender. D. Sam and George are equally liable for repayment of the mortgage loan.
The correct answer is C. Sam is liable on the note and for any deficiency that may exist after foreclosure. When property is sold subject to the mortgage, the seller retains liability for the note and is liable for any deficiency judgment.
Which mortgage clause requires the mortgage balance to be paid in full when the mortgage property is sold or transferred? A. Alienation. B. Repayment. C. Defeasance. D. Satisfaction.
The correct answer is A. Alienation. This clause is also called the due-on sale clause.
Which of the following documents does a buyer not receive at closing? A. Title insurance commitment. B. Deed. C. Mortgage. D. Closing statement.
The correct answer is C. Mortgage. The buyer gives the mortgage to the lender, but receives the title insurance commitment, a copy of the closing statement, and the deed.
Which of the following properties is probably immune from real property taxation? A. Cattle ranch. B. Church. C. Boy Scout camp. D. Post office.
The correct answer is D. Post office. Real property owned by government is immune, while property owned by churches and some nonprofit organizations is exempt from real property taxation.
Which of the following are not immune or exempt from real property taxation? A. Agricultural property. B. Church-owned property. C. Government-owned property. D. Property owned by certain nonprofit corporations.
The correct answer is A. Agricultural property.
Greenbelt laws: A. Protect farmers from excessive taxation. B. Have been abused by developers and speculators. C. Limit farm assessments in or near an urban area to the same level as more distant agricultural property. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
If you purchased a tax certificate at auction 2 years ago on a particular property, in the third year you may A. Foreclose on the property. B. Apply for a tax deed. C. Request a certificate of title. D. Claim the property.
The correct answer is B. Apply for a tax deed.
For a municipal improvement to qualify as a special assessment, the improvement must A. Provide added security for the homeowner. B. Result in a higher price for utility services. C. Increase the value of the property. D. Beautify the location.
The correct answer is C. Increase the value of the property. A special assessment pays for improvements to a property made by a government agency, such as sewer lines or streets. The property must benefit from the improvement, thus increasing its value.
Which of the following creates an involuntary alienation? A. A tax deed. B. A special warranty deed. C. A warranty deed. D. A quitclaim deed.
The correct answer is A. A tax deed. Alienation is the act of transferring title or an interest in real property from one party to another. A tax deed is an involuntary alienation because the transfer of ownership was not the willing act of the owner.
A lien on real property, A, can be placed on property without the consent of the owner. B is a financial claim against the property that encumbers the title. C may represent a personal debt collectible against the property that can be enforced by court action. D, all of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above.
Henry homeowner borrowed money from 2 different banks and gave each a mortgage on his home. Which lender will have the higher priority lien? A, the first lender to originate a loan. B, the first lender to record the mortgage. C, the lender with the earliest date on the promissory note. D, the lender who made the largest loan.
The correct answer is B, the first lender to record the mortgage. The date of recording establishes priority of a mortgage lien.
The right to keep people from entering your property is the right of A, privity. B, propriety. C, exclusion. D, necessity.
The correct answer is C, exclusion.
Customer Ken is considering buying a property from broker Mary. Before signing an offer, however, Customer Ken asks broker Mary about the quality of the title. What should broker Mary do regarding this inquiry? A, suggest to Ken that he obtain a current abstract of title. B, insist that the seller furnish Ken a general warranty deed. C, ask Ken to seek the services of a competent attorney or purchase title insurance. D, have an attorney handle the closing.
The correct answer is C, ask Ken to seek the services of a competent attorney or purchase title insurance.
A seller conveys the back portion of a property, but does not provide the buyer with any means for ingress or egress. The buyer can enforce a right of access by obtaining an easement by A, necessity. B, accretion. C, reliction. D, avulsion.
The correct answer is A, necessity. An owner that creates a landlocked parcel is required to provide access to and from the parcel. This right can be enforced in court if necessary.
Andy gave Shirley a written agreement containing the right to buy his property any time within the next 120 days for $100,000. Shirley gave Andy $5,000 to bind the agreement. 30 days later, Shirley informed Andy she would buy the property. Their agreement has now become A, unilateral. B, bilateral. C, an option. D, executed.
The correct answer is B, bilateral. Originally, the agreement was an option, which is a unilateral contract. When Shirley informed Andy of her intention to buy the property, the agreement became a sales contract, which is bilateral.
Deed restrictions are A, encroachments. B, encumbrances. C, easements. D, embrasures.
The correct answer is B, encumbrances. An encumbrance is anything that limits the equity, such as a mortgage, or the ability of an owner to use the property, such as a deed restriction.
A utility company that has power lines running over a portion of your property has A, an estoppel. B, an encumbrance. C, an easement. D, both B and C.
The correct answer is D, both B and C. The utility company has an easement in gross, which creates an encumbrance on the property.
For an abstract on real property to have value, a purchaser should A, insist on receiving a general warranty deed. B, have the seller promise to guarantee the title. C, obtain an opinion of title prepared by an attorney. D, seek an appraiser's estimate of value.
The correct answer is C, obtain an opinion of title prepared by an attorney. An abstract is a compilation of documents obtained from public records. To be useful, it must be examined by a competent attorney who may then provide a letter of opinion as to quality of title.
An easement may be removed from property by A, a court decision, B, sale of the property, C, a quitclaim deed, D, both A and C.
The correct answer is D, both A and C. An easement can be removed by a court decision, or the owner of the easement may release their interest by use of a quitclaim deed.
If a buyer's attorney discovers a break in the chain of title to a property, and the seller has promised to give a good and mercantile title, the seller should A, file a suit to quiet title. B, terminate the contract. C, sue the prior property owner. D, buy title insurance.
The correct answer is A, file a suit to quiet title. A suit to quiet title is used to cure defects or breaks in the chain of title.
How may the government acquire possession of a property to complete a municipal improvement when an owner is refusing to sell his property and is delaying or blocking the project? A, by escheatment. B, through the use of eminent domain. C, by issuing an estoppel. D, by foreclosure of the owner's property.
The correct answer is B, through the use of eminent domain. Eminent domain is the right of any unit of government, public housing authority, public utility, or railroad to obtain title to private property for public use. The owner must be paid a just compensation for the taking.
A broker may record a purchase agreement for the sale of real property in the public records when the A, broker believes it is important for the protection of the parties. B, property owner approves of the recording. C, broker believes the seller may refuse to pay the commission. D, buyer gives the broker approval to do so.
The correct answer is B. The property owner approves of the recording. A broker cannot place any document on the public record that affects title to real property that is the subject of his or her employment unless the recording has been approved by the property owner or is recording a judgment awarded by a court of law.
Which estate terminates with the death of the title holder? A, fee simple. B, remainder. C, reversion. D, life.
The correct answer is D, life.
Jack, Jim, and Jerry have equal and undivided interests in a property. Jack and Jim acquired their interests 2 years ago, and Jerry acquired his interest last year. They are probably A, joint tenants. B, tenants in common. C, tenants at will. D, tenants by the entireties.
The correct answer is B, tenants in common. Tenants in common may acquire title at the same or different times, but joint tenants must acquire their ownership interests at the same time. Only a husband and wife may own property as tenants by the entireties.
A husband and wife who own property as tenants by the entireties are in the process of obtaining a divorce. If no agreement is reached concerning the ownership after the divorce, they will probably own the property as A, tenants in common. B. Joint tenants. C. Tenants at sufferance. D. Tenants by the entireties.
The correct answer is A. Tenants in common. In the absence of an agreement or a court order, the ownership will convert to a tenancy in common. The tenancy by the entireties is dissolved when the divorce becomes final.
Janet owns a parcel of property in fee simple. She deeds the property to Helen, who is to own the property until Helen dies. Upon Helen's death, Mabel is to receive the title. Mabel's interest is known as A. Remainder estate. B. Survivor estate. C. Reversion estate. D. Life estate.
The correct answer is A. Remainder estate. Mabel is a vested remainderman. Helen has a life estate.
If a prior owner has a right to the future ownership of a property upon the death of a life tenant, the prior owner's right is called a non-freehold estate, B. Remainder estate, C. Reversion estate, D. Life estate.
The correct answer is C. Reversion estate. A reversion estate returns to the original grantor, while a remainder estate passes to a third party.
If Rick and Ron own a parcel of real estate with equal and undivided interests, and the right of survivorship is expressed in the deed, they are A. Tenants at will, B. Tenants in common, C. Tenants for years, D. Joint tenants.
The correct answer is D. Joint tenants. The right of survivorship expressed in a deed creates a joint tenancy.
Actual notice may be provided by A. Recording the deed, B. Physical possession, C. Buyer and seller entering into a contract, D. Having two witnesses sign the deed.
The correct answer is B. Physical possession. Constructive notice is accomplished by recording a deed in the public records.
An encroachment can best be disclosed by A or an A. Title insurance policy, B. Abstract of title, C. Up-to-date survey, D. Environmental inspection.
The correct answer is C. Up-to-date survey. An encroachment is a physical intrusion into a property that can only be disclosed by a current survey.
An owner's title insurance policy is A. Transferable and protects the new owner of the mortgage, B. Issued in the amount of the purchase price, C. Not transferable and each new owner must purchase a new policy, D. Both B and C.
The correct answer is D. Both B and C. The owner's title insurance policy is issued in the amount of the purchase price and is not transferable. The lender's title policy is transferable from lender to lender.
The best evidence of marketable title that a seller can give a buyer is A. An abstract accompanied by a title insurance policy, B. Title insurance accompanied by an opinion of title prepared by an attorney, C. Satisfaction of the first mortgage, a warranty deed, and a title insurance policy, D. An abstract prepared by an attorney at law.
The correct answer is B. Title insurance accompanied by an opinion of title prepared by an attorney.
An estate in severalty is A. Ownership by several persons in a single property, B. A future ownership interest held by two or more persons, C. An estate held by one person, D. Ownership by a brother and sister as tenants in common.
The correct answer is C. An estate held by one person.
Which of the following involve possession without ownership? A. Tenancy at will. B. Tenancy for years. C. Tenancy at sufferance. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above. These are non-freehold estates in which the tenant has possession of the property but no ownership rights.
A tenant that remains in possession of real property after expiration of a lease but without agreement of the landlord is a tenant A. At sufferance, B. For years, C. At will, D. In common.
The correct answer is A. At sufferance. A tenancy at sufferance exists when a tenant remains in possession at termination of a lease in the absence of any agreement with the landlord.
An oral lease is a tenancy A. For years, B. At will, C. At sufferance, D. In common.
The correct answer is B. At will. Any lease that is oral is a tenancy at will. Tenancies for years must be in writing.
Title under adverse possession may be acquired by A. Recording a deed or conveyance, B. Descent and distribution, C. Hostile possession of property, D. Estoppel.
The correct answer is C. Hostile possession of property. An individual who enters into open, adverse, hostile, continuous, exclusive possession of another person's real property for 7 or more consecutive years without consent of the owner may claim title by adverse possession.
Which of the following would an abstract fail to reveal? A. A fraudulent deed, B. An unrecorded lien, C. A document not on the public records, D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above. Abstracts contain copies of documents found in the public records. Fraudulent and unrecorded liens may not be revealed by an abstract.
A deed indicating Tony Martin and Alice Martin, husband and wife, as grantees creates A. Tenancy in common, B. Tenancy by the entireties, C. Joint tenancy, D. Tenancy at will.
The correct answer is B, tenancy by the entireties. This estate is created automatically whenever the grantees are identified as a husband and wife.
One provision of Florida's constitutional homestead exemption is A. That the family home will be exempt from forced sale if the owner of the property dies. B. To limit the real estate taxes that can be assessed against homestead property. C. To assure that a wife will receive at least 30% of her husband's estate. D. Protect the family home from foreclosure of any and all lien.
The correct answer is A, that the family home will be exempt from forced sale if the owner of the property dies.
The 4 unities required to create a joint tenancy are A. Interest, possession, time, and survivorship. B. Time, possession, interest, and transferability. C. Possession, interest, time, and title. D. Interest, transferability, possession, and title.
The correct answer is C, possession, interest, time, and title.
The most comprehensive estate in land is A or an A. Leasehold estate, B. Freehold estate, C. Non-freehold estate, D. Equitable estate.
The correct answer is B, freehold estate. A freehold estate involves ownership by the tenant. A non-freehold estate involves possession and use, but not ownership.
The area between two baselines or township lines is called A. a tier, B. a range, C. a township, D. either A or C.
The correct answer is D, either A or C. Tier and township are used interchangeably.
The primary reference point in a metes and bounds legal description is called the A. point of closing, B. point of beginning, C. initial reference point, D. starting point.
The correct answer is B, point of beginning.
In a township, the section lying west of Section 7 is A. Section 6, B. Section 8, C. Section 12, D. Section 13.
The correct answer is C, Section 12. Section 12 is the township adjacent to the township in which Section 7 is located.
A line running north 90 degrees east runs A. east and west, B. north and south, C. northeast, D. southeast.
The correct answer is A, east and west.
Section 36 is located in which corner of a township? A. southwest, B. southeast, C. northeast, D. northwest.
The correct answer is B, southeast.
Which of these are the same as 640 acres? A. 1/36 of a township or a section, B. a township or 36 square miles, C. 1 mile square or a township, D. a section or 6 miles square.
The correct answer is A, 1/36 of a township or a section. Both contain 640 acres.
A section is A. 36 miles square, B. 1 mile square, C. 1 square mile, D. both B and C.
The correct answer is D, both B and C. A section is 1 square mile, is 1 mile square, and contains 640 acres.
The number of the township directly west of Township 24 South, Range 3 East is A. Township 25 South, Range 3 East, B. Township 24 South, Range 4 East, C. Township 24 South, Range 2 East, D. Township 23 South, Range 3 East.
The correct answer is C, Township 24 South, Range 2 East.
In a metes and bounds legal description, metes refers to A. distances or measurements, B. measurements or angles, C. angles and direction, D. direction or measurements.
The correct answer is A, distances and measurements. Bounds refers to angles or direction.
In the government survey or rectangular system, the main north-south reference line is the Tallahassee A. baseline, B. principal meridian, C. guide meridian, D. parallel line.
The correct answer is B, principal meridian. The main east-west line is the Tallahassee baseline.
The oldest and least precise method of land description is the A. Monuments method, B. Meets and bounds method, C. Rectangular survey method, D. Recorded plat method.
The correct answer is A. Monuments method.
Which of the following indicates increasing demand for housing? A. New household formations, B. Increasing population, C. Migration into an area, D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
Which characteristic identifies real estate? A. Heterogeneity, B. Immobility, C. Situs, D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. Heterogeneity means different from. Real estate is immobile, and situs refers to the value of real estate resulting from its location.
Combining the ownership of two or more parcels of land under a single ownership to improve utility is called A. Plottage, B. Assemblage, C. Unifying, D. Bundling.
The correct answer is B. Assemblage.
Plottage is an increase in value that results from A. Subdividing undeveloped land into separate plots, B. Filing of a plat creating a new subdivision, C. Improved utility following assemblage of two or more parcels of land under single ownership or control, D. Creation of a residential subdivision from unimproved land.
The correct answer is C. Improved utility following assemblage of two or more parcels of land under single ownership or control.
When considering the purchase of a home, which of the following would probably not be part of the decision? A. Price, B. Personal income, C. Productivity, D. Consumer preference.
The correct answer is C. Productivity. Productivity relates to the efficient use of labor in the construction of a home would be related to supply rather than demand.
Articles of personal property permanently attached to real estate are called A. Fixtures, B. Appurtenances, C. Attachments, D. Chattels.
The correct answer is A. Fixtures.
A tree growing on a parcel of land may become personal property by A. Stratification, B. Sublimation, C. Severance, D. Semblance.
The correct answer is C. Severance. Severance occurs when the tree is cut down or severed from the land.
A court may use which of the following tests to decide if an item is a fixture? A. Intent of the parties, B. Method of annexation, C. Adaptation of the article, D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. The tests used by the courts may include intent of the parties, relationship of the parties, method of annexation, and adaptation of the article.
A lot located in a platted subdivision would be legally described using the A. Meets and bounds method, B. Lot and block method, C. Government survey method, D. Street address and zip code.
The correct answer is B. Lot and block method.
If a tenant signs a lease for a period of 120 days, the agreement is probably A. Tenancy for years, B. Tenancy at will, C. Tenancy at sufferance, D. Tenancy in common.
The correct answer is A. Tenancy for years. A tenancy for years must be in writing, have a definite beginning and ending date. A tenancy at will has no specific ending date.
An increase in the mortgage money supply is not created by A. Repayment of existing mortgage loans. B. Premiums collected by insurance companies. C. The savings of individuals deposited in financial institutions. D. The amount of cash in circulation.
The correct answer is D. The amount of cash in circulation. Savings deposits, insurance premiums, and the repayment of loans all increase the mortgage money supply.
A home is equipped with a heat pump if A. Hot air is circulated from the air vents during hot summer weather. B. A licensee has been told by the property owner the home has one. C. The thermostat has an emergency heat setting in addition to those for heating and cooling. D. The air conditioning system operates from the same thermostat setting as the heating system.
The correct answer is C. The thermostat has an emergency heat setting in addition to those for heating and cooling. Only heat pump systems are equipped with an emergency heat setting. This concludes CD number 2.